You are watching a master at work.
The kid's back!
With all of the recent events going on in the murder investigation of Tupac Shakur, Keefe D now being indicted for his murder, a lot of people, myself being one of those people, were very curious about what Suge Knight had to say about all of this and what his thoughts might be, given that Suge Knight, who was the owner of Tupac's record label, Death Row, and also was in the vehicle when it was fired upon and narrowly escaped with his own life as he was grazed in the head in the same incident where Tupac lost his life. TMZ was able to get an interview with Suge Knight over the phone. He did not confirm nor deny Keefe D as the shooter. More intriguingly, he also stated that if he is summoned to testify, he is not going to cooperate against Keefe D in the case. Now, while on the interview, he also took time to dispute whether Orlando Anderson, who is Keefe's nephew and the person that is suspected of being the trigger man in the shooting, he denied that Orlando Anderson is the shooter. Suge also went on to talk about he does not want to see Keefe D going through all of these things and how he grew up with Keefe D playing football with him as kids in Pee-wee leagues. He wouldn't wish jail on his worst enemy. Let me just give you a little bit more backstory for those who don't remember. All of this pretty much came about because Tupac died riding for Death Row. Just to jog your memory, Tupac joined Death Row after his mom was about to lose her house while he was in jail. Suge sent her the money to keep the house, some say around $15,000. Shortly afterwards, he visited Tupac while in jail, and Pac got down with Death Row around August of 1995. Tupac died 13 months later, September of 96, after he finished watching a Mike Tyson fight. One of the Death Row entourage members approached them saying they saw Orlando Anderson, one of the guys who approached one of the Death Row members a few days earlier in the mall and tried to jump him and take his Death Row chain. And Tupac immediately took off after the guy, fired on him, started punching on him. They jumped him in Vegas. They say after that event, Orlando Anderson, who was a well-known gangster Crip, got with his uncle and some of the other homies, and they started to plot out how they're gonna get their revenge. Keefe D, his uncle, was able to secure a gun, allegedly from one of Diddy's homeboys, who was also another Crip. They then used their vehicle to search up and down the strip, thinking that they would be able to catch them at a club that was owned by Suge Knight on the Vegas Strip, Club 662. They had no success there. As they continued driving down the strip, they happened to see Tupac hanging out the vehicle. They pulled up alongside of their vehicle. Keefe D, who had the gun, alleges he passed the gun to the back seat and his nephew Orlando Anderson fired. Now the contradiction happens to be witnesses say the arm that extended from the vehicle was the arm of a bigger guy. Orlando Anderson was a slim guy. There was another guy alleged to be in the backseat called Big Dre, who was currently alive at the time when Keefe D told the police that his nephew, Orlando Anderson, was the shooter, who happened to be dead by the time the police caught up with Keefe D. So no harm, no foul, right? Guess not. 27 years later, they still able to press charges on Keefe D and lock him up for the murder of Tupac. So this is just interesting to see. One I would like to also talk about is how a lot of gangsters have this I wouldn't wish jail on my worst enemy mentality. Listen, I'm not a gangster, I'm a proud civilian. That's one mentality I would never understand. I wouldn't wish jail on my worst enemy. But when you speak to a lot of people that are locked up, they're just glad to be alive. They're happy to be alive. Every day above ground is a good one. Help me understand this. You're telling me that you wish death on your enemy. You would take your enemy's life, but you wouldn't wish jail on them, where they're still able to communicate with family, still able to have their memories of good times, still able to write letters and different things like that, and have feelings and emotions and feel things. That to you is where you draw the line. But snuffing them out and taking them off this planet is not where you draw the line. I've always struggled with understanding that. Maybe somebody in the comments could break that down to me. This is what it is. Do y'all think this is wrong? Do y'all think Suge should testify against Keefe, being that Keefe kinda was responsible for him almost dying in that same incident as well. Well, should Suge just keep it solid and keep it G, keep his mouth closed, no matter if they offer him a reduction in his time, because remember, Suge is serving time on the case as well. Maybe he just, don't want no parts of it. Keeping it to the code. What y'all think? Suge wrong or Suge right? Let me know. It's food for thought. Y'all do the dishes. Be careful who you riding for, man. You never know how it might go.